जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Prabhupada. Ashtottar Satasri Srimad Divine Grace Avaicharanara Bindu Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. ISKCON founder Acharya Shri Prabhupada ki अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की श्री प्रभुपाद की प्रभुपाद अनुगा की समवेत भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा गिरिधारी की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ प्रदेव सुभद्रमयी की श्री श्री गौर निताय की श्री पंचतत्वा की समवेत भक्त वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories assembled
Hare
devotees,
Krishna.
all glories
Hare
devotees,
Krishna.
devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Shiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Apatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 13. Text, please. Text 1. Rahugana converses with Jada Bharata. Brahmana Uvacha. I'm reading from text 1 of Canto 5, Chapter 13, 5.13.1. Brahmana Uvacha Duratyaye Adhvanya Jaya Niveshito Rajastamaha Sattva Vivakta Kardamridrik Sayesh Sarto Artha Paraha Paribhrahman Bhavat Bhavatavim Yatina Sharma Vindati. Please repeat. Brahmana Uvacha Duradyaye Adhvani Ajaya Niveshito Rajastamaha Sattva Vivakta Karma Drik Sayesha Sarto Artha Paraha Paribhrahman Bhavatavim Yatina Sharma Vindati. Brahmana Uvacha Duradyaye Adhvani Ajaya Niveshito Rajastamaha Sattva Vibhakta Karmadrik सयेष सार्थो अर्थ परः परिब्रह्मन् भवाटवीं याति न शर्म विन्दति ब्राह्मणोवाच दुरत्यये अध्वनियजया निवेशितो रजस्तमः सत्त्वविभक्तकर्मधृक् स एष सार्थोऽर्थः परः परिब्रह्मन् भवाट्टवीं याति न शर्म विन्दति
Brahmana Vacha Doryatyayeda Vaniyajaya Nivesito
ध्वनि हजया विवेशितो
Rajastamasattva Vibhata Karmadrik
रजस्तमः सत्त्वविभक्तकर्मधे
Saesa Sato Altapara Paribrahman
जातो अर्थपरपरिब्रह्मन्
Bhavata Vimyatina Sarma Vindati.
भवाटवीं याति न शर्म विन्दति You want to?
Charyatyayeda Vaniyajaya Nivesito Rajastambhasattva Vibhata Karmadrik Saesa Sato Altapara Paribrahman Bhavata Vimyatina Sarva Vindati. Brahmana Vacha
ध्वनि अजया निवेशितो रजस्तव सत्त्वविभक्तकर्मधृक् सयेषदातो अर्थपरपरिब्रह्मन् भवाटवीं याति न जन्म विन्दति ब्राह्मण उवाच The Brahmana Jada Bharata continued to speak. Duratyaye, which is very difficult to traverse. Adhvani, on the path of fruitive activities. That is performing actions in this life, creating a body in the next life by those actions, and in this way, continuously accepting birth and death. Ajaya, by Maya, the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Niveshitaha, caused to enter. Rajaha Tamaha Sattva Vibhakta Karmadrik, a conditioned soul who sees only immediately beneficial, fruitive activities and their results, which are divided into three groups by the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Saha, he, eshaha, this, sa artha, the living entity, falsely seeking sense gratification. Artha paraha, intent upon gaining wealth. Paribrahman, wandering all over. Bhava atavim, the forest known as Bhava, which means the repetition of birth and death. Yati, enters. Na, not. Sharma, happiness. Vindati, obtains. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhakti Vinod Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jada Bharat, translation, Jada Bharat, who had fully realized Brahman, continued by my dear king Rahugana, the living entity wanders on the path of the material world, which is very difficult for him to traverse, and he accepts repeated birth and death. Being captivated by the material world under the influence of the three modes of material nature, Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamoguna, the living entity can see only the three fruits of activities under the spell of material nature. These fruits are auspicious, inauspicious, and mixed. He thus becomes attached to religion, economic development, sense gratification, and the monastic theory of liberation merging with the Supreme. He works very hard day and night, exactly like a merchant who enters a forest to acquire some articles to sell later for profit. However, he cannot really achieve happiness within this material world. Purport: one can very easily understand how difficult and insurmountable the path of sense gratification is. Not knowing what the path of sense gratification is, one becomes implicated in the repetition of birth and accepts different types of bodies again and again. Thus, one suffers in material existence. In this life, one may think that he is very happy being an American, Indian, Englishman, or German, but in the next life, one has to accept another body among 84 lakh species. The next body has to be immediately accepted according to karma. One will be forced to accept a certain type of body, and protesting will not help. That is the stringent law of nature. Due to the living entity's ignorance of his eternal blissful life, he becomes attracted to material activities under the spell of Maya in the spell of Maya. In this material world, he can never experience happiness, yet he works very hard to do so. This is called Maya. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tan Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Shakan Tamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is a wonderful conversation. Maharaja Rahugana converses with Jada Bharat, and here Brahmana Uvacha means Maharaj Rahugana is speaking. I'm sorry, Jada Bharat is speaking to Maharaj Rahugana. And there is I don't know the exact context in terms of the flow, but it looks like the talks of Rahugana, Maharaj Rahugana, who's amazingly interested in this personality called Jada Bharat because he has many questions and Jada Bharat is able to answer them. But he can see by the characteristics of Jada Bharat that he's a liberated person. He's very free from the shackles of this world. So he is asking him intensely questions and he's struggling to understand. And Jadabharat is very patiently answering them. Although his behavior with Jadabharat is not something very appreciable. It's very interesting that although Jadabharat chastised, was chastised by Maharaj Rahugana, um, and afterwards, to his surprise, he comes to know that Jadabharat is an exalted person. And he comes to know that Jadabharat is a very exalted person. Then he gets down from his palanquin, offers him obeisances, and wants to know more about him. And then he starts asking him questions. You see, even a person like emperor is very interested in self-realization, asking questions about life. Atato Brahma Jignasa. In the human form of life, one must question. And it is not that every question you have, you may immediately have the right person to answer them in front of you. Rarely do characters like Jadabharat come in front of you. But when they do come, you'll be foolish if you don't take advantage of them. That you immediately ask questions. So Maharaj Rahugana has got that good quality that he makes use of the situation to ask questions. For that he puts himself in the right platform. I am your servant. I am your disciple. Sisyaste aham shadimam tvam prapannam. Arjuna also put himself in a situation where he could ask questions of Krishna. And he affirmed that first. Okay, we have been friends before, we've done many things before, but I am completely screwed up now. I need counsel, I need good advice. And I think I want to switch my whole perspective. Sishya, I want to become your disciple and you become guru and instruct me. I'm willing to listen and consider it. So sometimes you can, do that and get some good. It is not enough if you simply, you know, have association of devotees. Physically sit and talk a few sweet nothings and describe the weather is so bad, Kiwi food is like this is like that, everything you could talk about it. And that's it. You remain on a superficial level of association. But the conversation between Maharaj Rahugana and Jadabharat shifts from one level to the other to the other. First it was like, I'm king and you're just a palanquin carrier. And that is disrupted, completely disrupted that type of a, relationship by Jadabharat turning around and telling him, neither are you king, nor am I a palanquin carrier. I mean, both of us are not what we think we are. And we should not have a perception either way. As soon as that happened, it agitated Maharaj Raghunatha. I said, what did you say? Do you know who I am? How dare you talk like that to me? From that level, it stooped to another level of discovery. Oh gosh, you are not what you look like. You are definitely not a palanquin carrier. You are somebody who's bold enough to talk to an emperor like this. Who the hell are you? And then he discovers who Jada Bharat is. It takes some time to question and find out. After that, the third stage is he says, okay, let's take advantage of this. And he settles himself down into a much lower position, subordinate to Jada Bharat. The emperor king got down from his palanquin, put himself on a lower platform, really low platform of Sishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapanna. Accept me as your disciple. Now let's get some good thing happening. And he asks this question. So he's into a crucial conversation. You know, in organizations they have, and huge in geopolitics, you have crucial conversations between mergers are happening between two huge corporations, or allying opposing forces are meeting each other, one country against the other. Russia and Ukraine having a discussion. That means it's a crucial conversation. There is three characteristics of such crucial conversations. There is high stakes. There is very deeply diametrically opposite opposing opinions. There is high emotion involved. When these three things are involved, it's like going to have a crucial conversation. Sometimes you have to have a crucial conversation with your husband, with your wife, and because relationships have been screwed up like nothing. Sometimes you have to have a crucial conversation with your daughter, with your son. Both the parents together, listen, we have to talk about this. Am I going to talk? I don't want to talk. I mean, stakes are high. Opinions are very differing. And there's a lot of emotion involved. So it's a crucial conversation. So Rahuguna and Maharaj and the Jada Bharat are having a crucial conversation, but it is one-sided. Stakes are high for Maharaj Rahuguna. He is suffering from deep emotional investment in the material world. But Jada Bharat on the other side is blissful. He doesn't have any such strain. And so he is able to very coolly answer all the questions. And you will see that here his Brahmana Jadabharat is saying, fully realized in Brahman, he continued, my dear king, Rahugana, the living entity wanders on the path of material world, which is very difficult for him to traverse. And he accepts repeated birth and death. Being captivated by the material world under the influence of the three modes of material nature, the living entity can see only the fruit of activities under the spell of material nature. These fruits are auspicious, inauspicious, and mixed. He thus becomes attached to religion, economic development, sense gratification, and the monistic theory of liberation. He works very hard day and night, exactly like a merchant who enters a forest to acquire some articles to sell later for profit. However, he cannot really achieve happiness within this material world. Number one, the living entity's condition is being mentioned here. In that, it says that he becomes very busy. Number two, he doesn't understand where he is, what he is subjected to do by the force of material nature. In fact, he becomes completely out of touch with reality. What is the reality? He's pushed by the modes and is acting. Swabhavastu pravartate. He simply acts according to the pushings. And he becomes very busy. It's an amazing, understanding what illusion is, what we are doing here, why we are doing, and what's the ultimate end. This, purposeless living, and within that thinking that it has a purpose, the illusion of a purpose in terms of fruits of activities that we do. That's what it seems to be the issue here. We think that what's the purpose of life? Sense gratification, artha, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, mentioned here. That I follow some religion, whatever religion is that, it's a very materialistic religion. And why are you doing that? Because I need gratification. And what do you need for gratification in this world? I need money. Dharma, artha, kama, satisfy I get myself gratified. And then actually I become sick of it and then I seek liberation. Mostly people in the world, at least in Kali Yuga, just want kama and artha. They forget about religion, they forget about moksha. Other two things, sandwiching the thing, they throw them apart. They just want kama and artha, money and gratification. So in this way, we are forced to do something in this world, and we do not know what's the ultimate end, what is the ultimate purpose. But we have a short-term purpose, gratification. And we don't even ask questions about it. We don't want to know what is real, what's the reality. So that requires that somebody else like Jada Bharat has to come from the outside and tell us that this is what's happening to you. You're in the prison. You've been programmed. You're acting according to that particular program under the modes. You are not free. It requires somebody to come and tell you that and then prove it to you. And then you may have a flickering exposure to something that's real and so dim. You may not take it up or sustain it and move ahead with it. So it comes and goes type of thing. But Jadabharat is a person who's constantly fixed in the reality. It's not that he is one of those persons who's experiencing flashes of reality. He's fixed in the reality. And in that reality, what he does materially does not matter to him. He may be a palanquin carrier. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. The secondary aspect of life in the illusory world simply doesn't matter to the person who's fixed in the real. This is just temporary. This is, not really uh, meaningful in the sense that it is supposed to be. I just want to be fixed in Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. And then he engages himself in whatever is the need accordingly. So he's not attached. He's not attached. That is a distinctive feature of a person who is fixed in the absolute truth. So seeing him being free, Maharaj Raghunath is a very intelligent person. He's an emperor, he's a king, he's doing something in this world that absorbs him very much, uses his intelligence. Therefore, he is not a fool. He's able to see because he faces difficulties, problems, he's ruling, he's an emperor, and he has his own false ego, he has so many things he needs to tackle. And so, therefore, when such a person is dynamically operating in this material world and he seeks solutions to many problems, he is the right person to be told about this is what's happening to you. And there's a good chance that if he's intelligent enough, he will really and examine it. Jada and Maharaj Raghunath is in a position where he's able to do that. That is his great fortune. His great fortune is he's come across somebody like Jada Bharat by Krishna's arrangement. We have all come across somehow by Krishna's arrangement the association of Bhakti Vinod Swami, Srila Prabhupada, his life, his teachings, his books. It's so amazing that Prabhupada makes these very bold statements. Nobody in this world will make these statements because they simply don't know, number one, what's happening to them. Number two, even if they knew, they'd be very diplomatic about it. They'll not talk about it because the world will see you as a mad guy or throw you out. So, but Prabhupada is going, traveling the world and speaking these things to everybody and awakening everybody to it. This is a huge amount of work to wake up people, then convince them and have them do it, and then have them realize it. It's a huge amount of work. And Prabhupada did that. Come to a whole lot of people who are enamored and completely lost in another so-called reality. Wake them up, give them this information, convince them, have faith in it, believe in it, practice it with some doubts here and there, and then move them along and bring them to the point of conviction. It's a lot of work. It's marketing at its peak, convincing a person to buy it, to use it, and savor it and say, how's the experience? Don't worry, it will become all right. It's like this, it's like this. Believe in it. We did that. It's a humongous task to wake up a sleeping soul and put this inside his head. If you're a little intelligent person, if this gets inside your head, you can't escape it. And Prabhupada knows that. It just enters your head, challenges your intelligence. Who are you? What the hell are you doing here? Are you wasting your time? These $1,000,000 questions, they really eat you inside. You have to, since you have intelligence, you have to be answering them. Otherwise, they will simply pester you, irritate you, and you put it inside everybody's head through his books. Anybody who carefully reads his books cannot stop from examining himself. Cannot stop examining himself. Any intelligent person just reads his books to enter your head. So Jadabharat is doing that. He has got into the head of Maharaj Rahugana by his very bold statements, fearless, fearless statements. There's a statement he makes. Rahugana says, I still can't understand how I'm not the body and how this is and all that. He tells you will not understand because you're a king. From morning to evening, you have sense gratification. You're a Vishi. It's not meant for you. Mahatpada Rajobhishekam. He tells him, you should go and take the dust of the lotus feet of a person who's fully self-realized and do Abhishekam of yourself. Raja Abhishekam. Raja means dust. Do Abhishekam of yourself. There is a chance that you may understand after that. Telling him directly. He's a palanquin carrier talking to the emperor like this. So bold. And the best part of it is Maharaj Raghuna is agreeing. Yeah, it must be like that. That's, the conversation becomes very interesting when both are benefiting from what I'm saying is understood, at least to some extent. And then I feel like I like to converse more with you because it's worthwhile. There's something coming out of it. So Jadabharat on one side is feeling sympathy and pity for Maharaj Raghuna. Raghuna is struggling to understand. And Jadabharat is telling him, it'll be difficult for you to understand because you're a king. You're a sense gratifier. This is meant for people who got a little brain on their, gray matter between their ears, and they can actually digest what I'm saying to some extent. These are amazing statements. I see Prabhupada also makes similar statements which may be socially unacceptable. And there are people who are going to scream bloody murder against certain things. He goes writing it. He just writes it. And he's not going to change it. He's not going to change it. So I remember one devotee senior, one GBC member telling me, Prabhupada has made all these completely controversial statements in his books. I said, what's controversial about that statements? He said this thing about women. He said this thing about Shudras and black people are Shudra. He said all things that, give explosive statements for the people of this world today. He says it. He very boldly says it. Why? You may believe, you may not believe. You may agree, you may not agree. But this is the way it is. It doesn't matter. Your opinion, your point of view doesn't matter. This is the way the world moves. It's like, that famous, to bring it to map it to present history and science, you will see the power of the church. I mean, in the Western world. The world's largest religion is Christianity, and you will see that uh, Copernicus first propounded the theory of a heliocentric universe, wherein the sun is in the center and the planets are moving around, the earth is moving around and then there's a geocentric theory, that is the earth is in the center and all the planets are moving around the earth. We are everything and we are God, like that was the theory that the church had. Somehow or the other, I don't know the history. Church really doesn't have, Christianity didn't have much great philosophy around it. It's all borrowed philosophy, borrowed from the Greeks and things like that. So they had this understanding. And Copernicus, brilliant mind, he propounded completely diametrically opposite and said, no, it's the sun that is the thing and the earth is moving around. And then it died. Nobody said anything much for some time, but people knew about it. And Galileo Galilei, Italian, I think, he took that up again and he said, this is right. And he, scientist, thinker, he was like, breaking ground. He invented the telescope and all those things and observed the planets and said, it's right. It's the earth that moves around. The sun is fixed. He had this. When he propounded this theory, the church went against him like nothing. And they said, no, withdraw it. He said, can't. Come and see the telescope. I'll show you it's moving like that. They refused to see it through the telescope. Many thinkers refused to see him because they were all churchgoers. All the scientists were churchgoers and believers in God. They all got together and said, this guy is saying something which is accepted and we can't change it. If it will go against the church, it's dangerous. It's God, against the Pope and against everybody. We should not do it. Da, 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 da. They were so stuck in it. But Galileo went ahead and said, I am seeing it. It's not the way you're seeing it. Come and see it. You'll see it's moving like that. Didn't do it. And the amazing thing is they interrogated him, put him on the, there's a huge gathering of all the great Christian authorities and churches and everything together. There's a beautiful painting of an Italian artist with him in the center. A whole lot of people. All these guys with those costumes and all the church heads were demanding that he publicly state that the earth is fixed and the sun is moving around. You better state it, you can't go in. It's in Hebrew, I forget that saying. He says, I may say it, but while I'm saying it, it is still moving. He said very beautifully. While I'm saying it, the earth is still moving around the sun. He said, they really get hot with him for his stubbornness. They put him in they do all sorts of things with him. He said, how can I change something? It's happening like that. I can telling you, see through my telescope, it's happening. Why are you forcing me to say this? I am a thinker. I am a scientist. Can't ask me to say something against what's actually happening. From there started this rationalistic thinking. They said the church can be wrong. Church can very well be wrong. Then you have all these Rene Descartes, all of them of rationalism. He is the one who said, "Cogito ergo sum." I think, therefore I am. I should use my own brain and intelligence, not just listen to the church and listen to this fanatic, dogmatic views. From there started the age of enlightenment and all that. Anyway, the point I was saying is, while I say this, the earth is still moving because that's the reality. So certain things cannot be said the way you want it to be said because you like it that way. but something else is happening. And most people don't speak about what's really happening. Either mostly they don't know, even if they know, they're afraid to speak it. So in this world, you can never have anybody speak what's the truth. You cannot have people speak what's the truth. And somebody speaks the truth, everybody will attack him. So basically, you will never get exposed to the truth. That's the design of the world. That's a program. Maya means you can never get the truth here. You're programmed never to get the truth. And here comes somebody like Jada Bharat and breaks open saying, don't listen to them. Don't listen to these guys. They are fooling you. This is the reality. This is the truth. You are not the body. You are spirit soul. You're eternal. You're being fooled by the three modes. There's a whole racket putting you inside. Who's going to believe that so easily? Who's going to believe that so easily? That's the issue. Mostly people don't know. They don't care. Everybody simply wants immediate gratification. That's all. Nobody thinks long term. And they don't mind taking birth again and again and again and again. This is addiction to, you know, gratification, immediate gratification. So somebody asked me this question, do you mean to say that, you guys don't want any type of enjoyment or anything like that? How can a person live like that? I told him, it is just that I told you I don't want immediate gratification. I am after long-term gratification. Anandamayobhyasa, the soul is always looking for enjoyment. And you guys are just going to die now. And all these things will be disturbed. And then again, you'll build up another enjoyment. And by the time you become old enough to enjoy and understand a few things, you're dead again. It's ragging. You're being ragged. As soon as you become mature enough materially and become expert at enjoying, you'll die. You take birth again and then work through the whole life and become sort of settled and you die. It's actually, somebody's teasing you. Can't you see the program? You won't. That's why he's telling Mahatpada Rajobhishekam. You please rub yourself with the dust from the lotus feet of a pure devotee. There is a good chance you may understand. So, accepting our deep, horrible situation is the first step, and then seeking counsel. We have a problem that we should know and accept it first. That's the first step. First step is to know that you're under a program, you're illusioned, you're forced under the three modes to think in certain ways, act in certain ways, which are detrimental to your own spiritual progress. Leave you alone, by default, you'll kill yourself spiritually. That's the program. So, actually, many thinkers, even in the scientific world, do understand that what is reality is slipping out of our fingers. We don't know, but that's not enough. The Bhagavatam very richly tells us that if you don't contact a pure devotee of the Lord and take instructions, fully believing in what he says, you have no hope. So this conversation is very interesting. The types of questions that Rahugana asks is the type of questions that people should be asked. Very intelligent man, illusioned, but knowing that I am illusioned, I want to be exposed to the light. That interest in life, what the hell is happening? I want to know, I want to crack this. That interest should be there. And then you become disinterested in everything else. Because this is the most important thing to know. What is happening? I am inside a program. It's not real. It's not real. So Krishna is explaining that in the Bhagavad Gita very brilliantly to Arjuna. And Arjuna understands it. is what's happening. Illusion, breaking the bubble of illusion. It's not an easy job. It requires somebody like Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada to shake the whole world and tell them that's what's happening to you. Watch out. Boldly stating it. And people say all sorts of things and shoot you and what do you call, try to get you out of the whole thing. Therefore, when we preach, if we are really preaching, then you will have opposition. You'll have opposition. You have to preach. Preaching means disrupting normalcy. Preaching means actually shaking up things. You have controversial things to say. That's when things really start happening. You will get attacked, and people will never allow you to disturb their sense gratification. They kill you. They don't care whether your mother, father, brother, sister, that, this, or anything. You disturb their gratification, they'll go all out of their way to kill you. Doesn't matter who you are. You'll see that in the Mughal history, Aurangzeb imprisoned his father, killed his brother, came to the throne, and killed and routed everybody else. It's a typical example. Therefore, these conversations give us a lot of insight into what presently we are doing, how we are living, what we should be doing. Om Tat Sat. I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Any question or comment?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for a wonderful class. I had a question in relation to Srimad Bhagavatam and Mahabharata. So there are a lot of overlapping stories in both. So what is the relationship between the two?
When you read the Mahabharata, you are free to have your perspective. Madhvacharya has mentioned there are 18 layers of understanding in the Mahabharata. You can understand it in one way if you're a materialist. You can understand it in another way if you're a religionist, which means you're a Varnashrama follower. You can understand it in another way as a Jnani, as a Karmi, and like that on and on. You can understand it as a devotee. And you have the Bhagavatam perspective on the Mahabharata, which is the real perspective. That is why, in comparison, it says, Arthoyam Brahmasutranam Bharatartha Vinirnayah Gayatri Bhashya Ruposo Vedartha Parirambitaha. This is beautiful shloka that says the real meaning of the Vedanta Sutra, the real purport and understanding is the Srimad Bhagavatam. The natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Bharatartha Vinirnaya, this Mahabharata, which is what's called Bharata, Artha, the real meaning of the Mahabharata, Vinirnaya means established by the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam will give you the real perspective of the Mahabharata. For instance, if you read about Bhishma in the Mahabharata, many people saw the serial Mahabharata in India, I remember those days. And they got an emotional feeling towards each of those characters. Bhishma is like this. And Vidura is like this. So if you read the commonplace understanding is that Bhishma is a fantastic personality. And he fought against the Pandavas. And they have their own perception of it, about it, what's happening. But if you read the Bhagavatam, you will see what is happening between Krishna and Bhishma. It's so beautifully explained there by Acharyas. Prabhupada explains that in his purports. Bhishma is, you can see all these characters. Bhishma, Vidura, the Pandavas, Duryodhana, Shakuni, Dhritarashtra, all of them are characters, very special. Duryodhana is a demon. If you draw a graph, on the negative side you will have Duryodhana, right? And all the Shakuni and all of them. And Dhritarashtra is a little above them. And then Vidura is like right above the 0, 0. He's like a pure devotee. Then down the line you have Bhishma, you have others coming down. Vidura, the way he played a role, he knows Krishna, he knows he's a Supreme Personality Godhead, he knows about devotion, bhakti. And in the Bhagavatam, his route is explained very nicely. How he goes back to Godhead. And then his attachment for his brother Dhritarashtra, how he comes to save him. Now Dhritarashtra is blind spiritually also. You see all these characters stuck in the, tapestry in the board somewhere, and they're not moving up. But the Bhagavatam will give you the right perspective on each of these people. They'll tell you where they are situated in the whole small gas board, shall I say, of the world, and the advancement of each soul. If you draw a matrix, you will just see where they belong. And you'll be amazed to know that Bhishma is counted as a Mahajana. And in the Mahabharata, people look at him in a very different way. But he is much more than that. Similarly, you will see other things explained from the Mahabharata. Kunti, the Pandavas, and all of that. They will be explained in a very different way in the Bhagavad. Pure devotees of the Lord. In the Mahabharata, it will say Swarga Rohanam, that the Pandavas went back to Swarga. And on the way to Swarga, he was tested, Arjuna was tested. Maharaj is saying he fell down. It's only Yudhishthira who made it, something like that. But those are all material estimations. And Prabhupada will give in the purport in the Bhagavatam that Arjuna is an eternal associate of Krishna. Where is that judgment and where is his Mahabharata judgment of him falling down? Bhima fell down, he's too attached to eating this thing and that. So if you get perceptions on the basis of dharma, it should be seen like this. But the Bhagavatam will give you the right perception in terms of pure devotion to Krishna. That is the right perception. So we are following Lord Chaitanya's path. He is Krishna himself. He has given us the path of pure devotion through the chanting of the holy names. And we view through that template. And in this way we can understand Bhagavatam from the great acharyas and their understanding and are left to us. I don't think we would have figured out any of these things. I hope that helps. Yeah. Any other question or comment? Anybody on the online? Is anybody?
Hi, Krishna. Yes, there's a couple of questions.
There's a question. You have a question.
I have a question as well. Can I ask later?
Any question?
There's a question online, Maharaj. So there's a comment first, which I'll read, and then the devotees, if anybody wants to unmute, they can unmute and ask the question. So thank you for the nice class. Is the meeting of King Rahugana and Jada Bharat accidental or predetermined? Should one seek out a guru or just wait for a guru to be sent by Krishna?
Thank you. Interesting question. Nothing in the world is happening without the orchestration of the Supreme Personality of God. Tena vina trinamapi na chalati. Without you knowing it, not even a blade of grass moves. That is a statement made. So, at the same time, we should know that Maharaj Rahugana is also playing a role of out of his own volition being interested. Krishna may bring so many situations in front of you, but if you don't want it, it doesn't click. That's why I'm saying Maharaj Rahugana took advantage of the opportunity. He saw Jadabharat and he was willing to climb down from his position as a king and become a servant, a subordinate disciple, and ask questions because he wanted to utilize the good situation for his benefit. Now, if we don't do that, like we have got the opportunity to associate with the movement of Bhakti Vinod Swami Prabhupada, you have devotees, you have beautiful festivals, you have deities, you have books to read. You can use it and you will advance in Krishna consciousness. You don't, it's up to you. Krishna is not going to force it, shove it down your throat. That's not his. The problem is free will. And he's not interfering with your free will, Krishna. He is very individualistic and respectful towards your individuality. So nobody is going to shove Krishna consciousness down your throat. It's up to you. And obviously it's so pervasively available, Krishna consciousness, because of the devotees preaching and distributing books and giving prasadam to people and entering their lives. And even then, if you don't take it up, who is to blame? So therefore, there is also the factor of your own interest and your internal labor to do something about Krishna consciousness. Now, it's not that, you can blame Krishna for everything. You have that factor and you have that factor of Krishna also bringing it close to you, right up to your nose. And if you don't take it up, then. So therefore, Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. This is a famous quoted shloka, famously quoted shloka, that the living entity is roaming around, taking different bodies. Brahmanda Brahmite, we are great travelers. We just don't travel like, I'm traveling now, I'm coming to New Zealand from somewhere in deep South India. We guys travel a lot in every lifetime. We take birth somewhere in Timbuktu as a rabbit, maybe, if you have not followed any Krishna conscious properly, or some, creature in Fiji, or be a human being or a demigod. We're also great yatris, traveling life after life in different places. And if you don't take advantage of Krishna giving you these opportunities, then what to say? Kono Bhagyavan Jiva. You're considered fortunate when you exercise your free will and take advantage. That time you become fortunate. Fortunate is not that you open your mouth and you're waiting and it falls in your mouth. I'm fortunate. Not only that, you're also intelligently going behind it. I need this. And I want to ask this question. I want to learn this. That I'm Krishna is with you. That's it. I hope that helps.
Hare Krishna. If there's any other questions online, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Donut pranams to you, Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. I'm Sudharma Devi Dasi. Maharaj, I have a question. Thank you so much for such an enlightening class. We know that as devotees, we perform devotional service. And I'm going to ask this question with regards to my mother who passed away. She was serving Sri Sri Radha Giridhari. She was almost 90 years old. The family, my brother decided to do the 13 days of Kriya, Shrad. And her last day, the 13th day, falls on Ekadashi, which is Thursday. And according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, 14, 20 to 23, it explains how the Shrad ceremony should not be performed on Ekadashi. So I'm a bit confused, Maharaj.
It's also saying the same purport that we should do it on Dwadashi.
Yes, Maharaj, on Dwadashi, it's Vaman
The
Dwadashi.
purport you just spoke about says you must not do it on Ekadashi, but you can do it on Dwadashi or Trayodasi, I forget. But it gives you instruction.
It says Dwadashi, Maharaj, I read that. And on Dwadashi, it's Vaman Dwadashi on Friday. So there's a lot of confusion. And I don't know.
What is the confusion? It says do it on Dwadashi, do it.
Yes, Maharaj, but the family are not willing to cooperate. My older brother, who's doing the Shrad and everything.
You have to solve. It also says that what type of a repercussion,
Yes.
a sin it is to do this Shraddha Sarmani Ekadashi, and what will be the repercussion.
Yes.
And there's a punishment for it, that you get roasted in Raurava hell and something like that. Maybe you should show your brother that.
Yes.
He'll wake up.
Yes.
When
Yes.
these are not like my brother doesn't agree. Your brother may not be an authority in these things. What's the meaning of saying he doesn't agree? He doesn't know. You go to an astrologer, you go to those people, all of them will tell that. It's not only that Prabhupada is saying in his purport. Luckily I remember that purport. And I'm telling you, he is giving direction, don't do it on Ekadashi, do it on Dwadashi. He's saying it. So do it. And if your brother is saying he doesn't want to do it, say, I don't want to do it, I'm not taking part in it, you're going to hell. Because this is what the Shastra says. Maybe you should educate him. And beyond that, he is not listening to, what can you do? What can you do? He may be your brother in this lifetime, but he's on his own. Cannot do anything. You do, if at all you're involved in some authoritative way, then you can use your influence to change it. If you cannot, what can you do? People are doing all crazy things. That you don't have to, take all that burden on your head. You can try to the extent you can. And beyond that, what can anybody do? What can we do about all the cows that are being slaughtered in India and being exported even today? We're not able to do anything much. Because we don't believe in that one bit. We don't follow that one bit. It's horribly sinful. But it's being done.
Another question. Oh, sorry. Sorry, continue, Maharaj. Sorry.
Yeah, I hope you understood. There's a lot of echo here. I hope you understood.
Yes, Maharaj, I do understand everything. And I printed the purport, and I'll try once more, and I will explain it to my brother and the family. And yeah, Maharaj, she actually left her body, and she wanted to be cremated within 24 hours. That didn't happen. So Maharaj, she has been a
Then you
devotee.
should just forcefully do what you think is right.
Yeah.
She's a devotee, and Prabhupada is mentioned in the purport. So you should say, insist, and you should go ahead and do what's right. Do it on Dwadashi. And if your family doesn't help you, don't show your feet to the deity. Don't show your legs to the deity. Yeah. While paying obeisances. Yes. So while they are doing something, you can disown it, and you can separately get the devotees here to do the rites for your mother on Dwadashi. So
Yes.
you're free.
Maharaj, the other thing is we do the Shraddh from the day the soul departs the body, or these people are taking, the priest who is doing the thing is taking it from the day the body is cremated. So there is some confusion there as well.
Well, I don't hear you properly, but I know there have been a lot of intricate karma-oriented procedures and all that. You can consult. We have a samskara book, how to do the anteshti kriya under special circumstances and everything. And you can go ahead and do it the way it is supposed to be done. There be, whether it should be during cremation or whether before that, Shraddha ceremony, I don't know. Are you talking about the first Shraddha ceremony?
Yes, Maharaj.
1 year is over.
No, not yet. She passed away 10 days ago.
Okay, so already everything must have been done, the rites.
Yeah, the rites have been done. She was cremated. And my question is, like, we count it when the soul departs the body from that day for the Shraddha to take place, the Kriya, or from the day the body is cremated.
What Mataji is saying is, do we take the 13 days from the day the person passed away, or we take the 13 days from the day that the body is cremated?
The day of passing away. That's what I know. From the day of passing away.
Oh, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
But I'm not responsible for any karma.
Haribol, thank you so much.
From this. You can refer again.
Hare
But
Krishna.
the karma, kanda and rights and everything. As a sannyasi, the Bhagavad Gita says, what is it? Niragnir na chakriyaha. That I'm not supposed to take part in these things much. Karma kanda, this thing. Actually, since you're chanting Hare Krishna, you're a devotee and you feed prasadam, give charnam to the person and do Harinam, many things get taken care of. That faith you must have. Don't get deeply involved in Kali Yuga and following all these intricate, should I cremation this day, that day, to some extent, and many things will not be solved so easily. But make sure you do a huge Harinam Sankirtan, give prasadam to devotees on behalf of this thing, and pray to the demigods and everybody, offer them prasadam. I think that's the best way to take care of everything.
Yes, Maharaj, thank you.
Shukracharya's statement in the Bhagavatam. This statement was made by Shukracharya to Vamana. He told him, in all the amazing Karmakanda stuff and mantra and everything that I do, actually everything, all holes get plugged when we chant your holy names. And that is the technique I use. Mantratas tantratas chidram deshakalarha vastutah sarvam karoti nischidram anusankirtanam tava. Everything, sarvam karoti nischidram. All holes get plugged when we glorify you and chant your holy names. This is Shukracharya's statement, who is a master. Prabhupada calls him founder Acharya of the Karmakandis, founder Acharya of the Smartas. He told Vamana, when we chant your holy name and glorify you, everything becomes all right. Because in my mantra, tantra, in my procedures, there will always be some holes. Mantratas, tantratas, chitram. Desha kalarha vastutah. Vastu means the dravyas, the items that I use. Desha, kala, place, time. In all that there will be errors. But I plug everything by glorifying you and chanting your holy. And I have full faith in that. And this is Shukracharya, the guru of the Asuras, telling Vamana, this is my secret. This is how I became successful in making Bali Maharaj so powerful. I use Harinam Sankirtan. So why don't you also do that? Why you worry about, should it be cremation? Should it be the day of this thing? What about this Dwadashi, Ekadashi? Follow the basics. Don't do it on Ekadashi, do it on Dwadashi. Just chant the holy name, distribute prasadam, have faith in the words of Krishna. That's it. Finished. Okay?
Thank you
Om
so
Tat Sat.
much. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
I think we will end it here because it's
We should end.
okay.
Because although I speak serious things in the Bhagavatam and all that, I need to take prasadam. Let's come
Hare
back to the world and put our feet on the ground. Prasadam is important.
It's only Bhakti Vinod Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank Krishna.